So many young men these days are struggling to interact with their peers. They wonder why their friends keep on insulting them, why they are the laughingstock of the group, and why their presence is just not as valuable as it is for some of the others. And this is all because they don't understand the concept of power. Once you master these 7 laws of power that I picked out from the book called 48 Laws of Power, you will be able to manipulate and also save yourself from being manipulated by others. That is my promise for you today, and knights don't break promises. Law number 10, infection. You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases. You might feel like you are helping the drowning man, but in reality, you are just tiring yourself out, and you won't be able to swim to the shore. The unlucky and unhappy person will infect you with their misfortune, which will make you just like them. If all you hear from your friends all the time is whining, you will eventually start whining as well. That's why the most successful people in the world only hang around winners with a good mindset. Because if everyone around you is disciplined and driven to achieve their goals, even if you are feeling kind of down, they will infect you with their emotional state. So be careful who you hang around with, because negativity is very, very sticky. Law number 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, not their mercy. Whenever you ask for anything, don't bother telling the person all the good deeds you have done for him in the past. He will find a way to ignore them. Instead, highlight something that would benefit him if he fulfills your request. This will make him much more enthusiastic, which not only makes him complete the task faster, but also much better. Law number 18. Never build a fortress to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. As you get deeper and deeper into self-improvement, you might want to start isolating yourself from others so that you can stick to the routine and make more and more progress. And this is where self-improvement becomes dangerous. That's when it starts going downhill. Even though not speaking to people might seem like a good choice for your growth, no one can distract you, and you are just on the grind all the time. It's actually the worst thing you can do, because once you start isolating yourself, that's when your mental health starts degrading, and you become this weird shell of a man where you basically have everything you want and yet you aren't really happy. Law number 27. Play on people's need to believe. If you want to have a large following of people, if you want to be famous and have people literally follow your every word, you need to build a cult-like following. This is what all of the biggest self-improvement creators are doing. They are building cult-like fan bases, and that's what you need to do if you want to help a massive number of people. Or of course, do something else. But let's just assume you are not a psychopath. And so how do you build a cult like this? Robert Greene says that you need to have people commit, make them offer sacrifices for your sake. For example, the way Hamza did this was that he told his audience to get an eyebrow slit to be a part of his cult. You also want to give your disciples rituals to follow. So, for example, you might make some sort of habit that every single one of them has to do every day. Doing this will give you probably the most amount of power in the grand scheme of things. Law number 28. Interaction with boldness. Everyone knows the good old saying, fortune favors the bold, and it is totally right. So many guys these days think too much, and a man who thinks all the time will get outperformed by the bold guy who doesn't really think about it and just does it. He just gets an idea, he tries it. If it doesn't work, he moves on. If it works, he keeps going. On the other hand, the thinker essentially does the same thing as the doer, but he moves at a much slower pace because, before he makes a decision, he always has to think about it first. Law number 34. Act like a king to get treated like one. The way you carry yourself will reflect on the way you are treated. If you act and look like a high-value man, you will be treated like one. You basically have to fake it until you make it. This means you have to act confident, wear nice, well-fitting clothes, and respect yourself. And self-respect only comes from self-competence, which means you need to become more disciplined. You are only going to start respecting yourself if you know that you are the type of person who can show up to do something hard and difficult every day, no matter how you feel. Law number 38. Think as you are and behave like others. If you hang around people who aren't really into self-improvement, you don't really want to act like your real self around them. Because if you do, if you show how much better you are than them, they will start disliking you. So you basically have to become the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is something a lot of guys have to learn the hard way, because a lot of the time, guys who get on self-improvement start trying to convince everyone else around them to get on self-improvement too, because they realize how awesome it is. But the people aren't so enthusiastic about it, and they think it is cringe, and so they get annoyed, and they start disliking them. So instead, if you want to avoid being disliked by others, you want to behave like them and do your self-improvement stuff in private. Because, as much as you may think that you can get others to improve themselves, you really can't. Trust me, think about how hard it was for me to get you on self-improvement, and you wanted it. So getting someone who doesn't want to is truly impossible, in my opinion. If you think this video was valuable or at least enjoyable, make sure to like and subscribe so that you see more of these videos videos on your homepage. And if you want a like-minded community of young men trying to improve themselves just like you, make sure to join the Wisdom Clan with the first link in the description. And go do something productive now. Bye.